Hello, quilters. That was a fast hour, wasn't it? How much quilting did you get done? Let me turn on the chat so you can let me know. Sorry, listening to my book. Um, so, did you get all 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16 triangles done? Because it's time for step 2. Step 2 is up in the class. Let's see, Savannah. Welcome back to you as well. So step 2 is up. I printed it out. My printer's running out of ink, so it doesn't print very dark. So you are now grabbing out fabric 3 and fabric 4, and you are going to cut 4.5 4.5 inch strips from color 3 and color 4. You're going to cut 2 4.5 inch strips and an 8.5 inch strip. So then you are going to make pairs. And these are the 2 smallest amounts of fabric. So these are your pops. That's why I went for the bright yellow here. You can see that that's really showing there. It's just a little pop of color there. And then this is my darkest color here. It's a dark green background print. So it's a dark green background, and then it has print on it. So it's the darkest one. So I went for my lightest and my darkest here, just a little pops of color. And you're going to sew them together, and you are going to make 8 of these squares. And my husband is the one who puts everything on the board for me because it involves a step ladder, and he doesn't let me go on a step ladder because my leg doesn't work and I tend to fall down and stuff like that. So he was like, so which way should these go? And I'm like, ooh, I didn't even think of that. So we put them up and down, and they're going to go both ways on your quilt as well. So it's a pretty simple one. You're going to piece them together, and you're going to subcut them down into your units like this. There you go. Let's see let's see what we have here. We have Donna, you're hoping for an extended break from school for Virginia. It's only Saturday, but then again, it's Virginia. Depends on if you have trucks in your area. If you don't have the salt trucks and the plows, maybe you'll get a Monday off. Let's see. Savannah's trimming them up now. That's the worst part. I do oversize my triangles and have to trim them up, but they're so much nicer that way. What just came off my board this morning was all of these blocks that I'm making for a Primitive Gatherings subscription box. And she uses triangle paper, but I didn't have any when I was starting. So I have squared up every single one of these triangles, but look at all these perfect points. So I'm happy to oversize and then cut them down because it gets those perfect points. And there's only, 16 of them. Cynthia, hey! For those who don't know, Cynthia, I think you made every single quilt in year 1 of color blocks. I just loved watching your quilts as they were coming. Let's see. Hello from Blairsville. Hello in Blairsville, Pennsylvania. Your lightest is your focus, number 5. That works great. That's what mystery quilts are about, because it gets you to put colors in places that you might not have put them before. And actually, I've made 5 of these now. And the one I'm looking at over on my chair over here, my second lightest is my focus color, I think. No, my darkest is my focus color on this one. Anyway, they're all over the place. And it's interesting to see what they all look like. Krista, you were searching for your fabric and almost missed this episode. Well, it will be, I will download it and put it in the class. I've already put the last video in the class for anyone who might be starting later and missed them, and they're all in the class. But happy searching for your fabric. Hopefully, for me, when I search for fabric, I end up making a bomb in my sewing room and destroying everything. I'm trying to get away from doing that, but so far it hasn't worked. So hopefully you can contain the damage, the blast zone from looking for your fabric. Shannon, oh no, you had rotator cuff surgery, but this one I am doing when you can. You're living vicariously through us. Thank you. I am so sorry for your rotator cuff surgery. Hopefully it's on your non-dominant hand. hopefully. I broke my non-dominant hand, collarbone, and I know I did a lot of piecing because I had a friend come over and cut for me, and then I could piece and I could press with one hand while my left arm was braced up. But hopefully that will put you in better shape than you were before the surgery soon. But I know there's a tough recovery involved with that. So best wishes for happy healing. Heather, did I get Heather here? You used your dark for color one. I might have done one of those because I'm not gonna have this one finished to hang up for 5, for the 4th, section when you get the reveal, but I will put another quilt up there, and who knows what color I put where? Because again, I've made 5 of these. They're all over the place. Cynthia, almost. You almost made all of them. I just remembered you were a very prolific quilter. And Madeline is here. Hello. Hey, Jersey. Let's see. It's good to see you again as well. Let's see. You were so glad to see your 2 different colors way. It gave you another cool jumping off point. You're ironing and cutting. Excellent. That's why I wanted to put those out there, to show you what my fabric pools looked like and where I chose different ones. I could have just made 1, but I wanted to give you 2 to choose from, to see how the differences are still going to be fine. And, to give you the triangles and focus and things like that, because those are questions that I would want to have had answered if I were jumping into a mystery quilt. I didn't get to do as much pre-work for this mystery quilt as far as advertising and stuff. I think we have maybe 400 quilters joining along today, which is awesome. I had bigger plans, of advertising and doing all of this stuff and having all this prep work done. I got sick. I was like, I have the whole week between Christmas and New Year's to get all that stuff done. I didn't. I did, however, go through a couple boxes of tissues and several boxes of cold medicine. But I'm on the mend. So sorry that I didn't get that out till later, but this wasn't a huge buy-in because it was, not a huge amount of fabric. Now, for those of you who aren't quilters, that's a lot of fabric if you're going to the quilt store and shopping to buy this for a mystery quilt. I understand that. But for established quilters, like I'm guessing most of us are, we've got tons of yardage in the house and we're just going to pull some out and see what happens. Let's see. Hello in Maryland. And you're finishing up your Bonnie Hunter quilt and then this one. My family, I haven't done a Bonnie Hunter mystery quilt in maybe 8 to 10 years. I probably have 6 of them unfinished in the house, because I've been doing them since the beginning. And we used to have Thanksgiving at our house. And my in-laws, or whoever was here visiting, they all asked, did you do that quilt after Thanksgiving this year? Because they'd know the day after Thanksgiving, I would disappear to do Bonnie Hunter's mystery quilt. Um, my husband asked again. He's like, "Did you do that day after Christmas one?" I'm like, "Nope, it was Thanksgiving, but close." And that was the day I was getting sick, and he's helped move a lot of stuff in here. He's like, "You probably have 5 or 6 in here already." I'm like, "I do." So I'm not going to let myself make another one until I finish mine. And that's what's so hard as a content creator, is that I have to focus on my own work. But I'm still a fangirl. I love Bonnie Hunter's mystery quilts and Bonnie Hunter quilts. Um, let's see. And I subscribe to Primitive Gatherings and I make all of these in my spare time. So yeah, it's very interesting that I have to make myself be good and do my own work and then can only do so much. But I love that Bonnie Hunter mystery and I've missed doing them. Let's see. You pulled right yardage from your stash. Yeah. I remember as a new quilter, we were having a quilt exchange in the quilt group and they're like, oh, just pull this from your stash. And I didn't have any stash. So people really helped me out and pulled fabric for me because I had to go shopping for everything I needed. And that was a lot of money. I mean, fabric was almost $6 a yard back when I started quilting. You don't know how much money that is. Fabric is what now, $13 a yard, kind of minimum. It goes up from there. So yeah, I understand, and I never want to make it sound achievable for new quilters who are just jumping in. That's a lot of money. But again, for those of us who are established, we've got yardage to burn. So hopefully you have a fun way to use some of your yardage. You now have this hour from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock New York time, Eastern time, but I don't know if it's standard or daylight or whatever, but it's Eastern time, to finish up your triangles from clue 1 and then to make your rectangle pairs. So this one was kind of an easy step. I will see you again at 3 o'clock Eastern time for clue 3. Happy quilting, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.